Welcome to the Peelerz podcast, where we talk the nitty gritty and pretty side of stripping. It's with your main host here, Carella Kraken, and
Walter.
Walter, only one name. Is that your real or is that your fake name?
Fuck. That's my real name. That's a pretty shitty fake name.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I've actually never thought of that, like if everyone in the industry has a fake name.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? I'm also like a junior. So like
I'm Walter
like,
Jr.?
I'm named after my dad.
Now that sounds fake.
Who I hate. So that's kind of like
because you're in the stripping industry, daddy problems.
It's kind of a trigger. Can we not talk about it, please? Thanks.
As you bring it up.
I know, yeah. Why do I hate him? Well, because he left my family. No.
Just hop right in. Yeah, okay, today we're talking dads and why we hate them.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Well, I guess you do need daddy problems to get into the industry, right?
Yeah.
You totally
how the hate of my dad made me into a daddy.
Oh my God. I've never considered you a daddy guy, but yeah, I can see it actually.
Totally. Yeah, you know, I don't know. That's maybe a little TMI and stuff like that, but yeah, that's weird.
He's a daddy guy.
That's that's a whole different thing. Is this the BDSM episode? Let's talk about it.
Oh God, I'd be the worst person to talk about because I'd just be like, the whole time. I don't like pain.
Oh no? Oh, I love pain. Like I like, well, maybe this is too TMI. I love both sides. Like, I'm sadist and masochist. So I love, like...
I thought you were like a teddy bear.
No, give me consent. I will fuck you up.
Anyway, this is Walter. He's been...
I'm nice.
He's a nice guy. He's been within the industry for quite some time, but the whole time that I've been dancing, I've known you as the photographer guy, the promotion guy, the poster guy.
Yeah, the guy in the office kind of thing.
The guy in the office, guy who's always around. Everyone knows who Walter is. That's for sure.
Or a lot of times they know of me, but they've never met me.
And it's like you weren't what I was expecting. I don't know, but I was expecting like an old fat dude, just like decrepit.
Yeah, not. Were you expecting me to be white?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a racist. Sorry.
Yeah, it is Alberta, so it's.
How long have you been doing this?
I think close to 16 years in the industry, industry.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So I'm doing math in my head. You're older. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm older.
Yeah. How'd you get into this exactly? Like, you don't just fall into printing stripper promo.
No. It's so weird because I'm originally from New York. And
every time you say this, I'm like, what, really?
Yeah. I'm originally from New York, and I did I'm just like a hardcore nerd. My knuckles say nerd life. I'm just a keyboard cowboy. So for high school, I built their website instead of going to gym class, all that kind of stuff. And so I started working for this club called it's not a club. I worked for this company called Dow Jones, like the stock market.
Okay. And
I worked for them for 10 years in a cubicle and managing 4 really nice but very old ladies. And it's such a different world and stuff. And then I came here. Why I came here, that's a whole another episode for sure. But I came here and then I was looking for work. So I answered a Kijiji ad. And it was just kind of you need to know website stuff and all these graphic stuff and everything. And so I called them and hey, this is my resume, blah, blah, blah. And they gave me okay, we're going to send you some links. Look at the links. And if you're still interested, give us a call back. And the links were links to the strip club's websites.
Okay.
So apparently, they had people that were interested, but as soon as they found out it was a strip club, I'm sure their wives told them, fuck no, you're not gonna go, work for them kind of thing and stuff, right? Or some religious issues between that and stuff like that, which oddly enough, I am somewhat religious.
You say this all the time too, and I'm like, what? But yeah, I know these things about you.
Yeah. And then I came in. I did the interview at the old Diamonds, the back of the old Diamonds where the office was.
Yeah.
And then I just started working, doing the website stuff, then it kind of into graphic stuff. And then throughout the years, like I worked directly with the owner and the second guy who used to be CR. And then I just kind of got integrated with everything, right? And so then he would ask me about like, marketing ideas and all that kind of stuff. And then, because it's a small company, when you work for a small company, your opinion matters and stuff, right? And especially like in the head office, it's just like me, the main our accountant, and then like the owner, and then like number 2 and number 3 in the company and stuff, right? Will be CRJP, right?
Yeah. Shout out, guys. Hi. Yeah. Love you.
I love you. I love this company.
The nervous laugh.
So I got into like just everything and stuff, right? And then because it's a small company and everything, and I work with them, I actually care. Like I care. But my biggest thing is like, I was married at the time and I hated my wife. So I spend all my time at the club.
Did she hate you because you were always at the club?
No. She, I don't want to talk bad about her, but she was a horrible human being. But I hear,
I don't want to say anything bad, but she was the worst.
I hear she's better now, which is great.
Hell yeah.
I just, as long as it's
Do I know
not,
her? Do I know her?
No,
Oh.
Nobody would know her.
Oh, damn.
I wish I didn't know her. But because of that, I spent a lot of times at the club, the first few years, like a lot of time. And so I just got to know all the girls. So most of the old school girls, like I've known some girls for like 15 years kind of thing, right?
That's wild.
And there's a few that I've known for like 15, 13, 12 years. I don't know their names at all. All I know
their
is,
real name, yeah.
All I know is like you're like, like, it's Carella Kraken. That's on. I'm assuming that's on your birth certificate, Carella Kraken, right?
Absolutely, yeah. My mom looked at me as a child and was like, "Oh, this baby's gonna kill puppies."
Yeah. Aw, why do you pick that? Oh my god.
Carella. Yeah.
No. There's a dog here.
Buckley's well taken care of. Look at that fat ass. Look at her. Oh, you're so perfect. Don't.
No.
Stay there.
Is everything's fine? Okay. Anyway, so that's just like how I got into it, and just slowly just got. I was just doing like online graphic stuff, and then like got like a video camera to do like video stuff, right? Because social media was just hitting. That's how social media was just coming in.
When I started dancing, like go-go dancing, dubstep was like a new thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Oh my god, that makes me feel old.
Oh, it's very cringy.
Yeah.
And like sometimes even me saying cringe is like, am I too old to say cringe or no?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, there's like there's a few words I will not say and stuff like that. But anyway, so I was just doing like video stuff, right? For the club and everything. And then, because I'm in the industry, a lot of my friends just ended up being strippers and stuff like that, like some of them are pretty cool.
I think strippers are the coolest.
Some of them are pretty cool.
Yes.
You know what? It's just like all doctors are not cool. All like, all whatever, like all cops are trash, but.
Most strippers are pretty okay.
Yeah.
I'd say so. They take on some kind of hobby or something cool.
Yeah.
That most people wouldn't.
Yeah. Besides drinking and coke, for sure.
Like speaking of drinking and coke.
Yeah.
This definitely goes right into our next subject, because things change, standards change, everything changes.
Yeah.
And I find, like, I haven't been in the industry too long, but like something that's definitely changes. Even when I started, there was a lot of girls doing coke. Well, everyone kind of did coke back. Everyone. And now it's like no one. There's no one on my lineup.
Well, I don't think
doing it.
No one. I think it being out and okay, it's less.
Do you think some girls are secretly doing it?
100%.
I'm so bad at. Oh my god, I'm so bad at that.
I would say 100% girls. I would say 100%, and just in the bar industry, waitresses and bartenders and doormen. Like, yes, it's standard. I would say at least 15%. At the very like being positive kind of thing, or 10% are actively on something for sure. This industry doesn't attract the highest of people.
I know, because really the quality is You can't get naked.
And I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to shit on people. And you know what? A lot of they're really young as well, right? Is like, I'm old as fuck, so I'm not gonna judge a fucking 19-year-old for doing coke or drunk while working. Obviously, I was fucking stupid as hell at 19, and so like that's actually something I actually have to I worked really hard on. It's just not judging these people because at that age, of course. But yeah, I actively think the worst from I know just like maybe like 6 years ago. I know there was still like someone told me pile of coke like in Chez Pierre's like dancer room.
I've heard that
personally. Someone that I know told me, but that's like about last time I heard 6 years ago and stuff like that, right? So
and there's like, I'm not gonna drop the club's name, but there's a club in Alberta that is very popular and. It's like that there. It's still like that. It's like a fucking time capsule. You go in and it's like the 70s. The girls' thongs are way up here. Everyone's hair is wild and everyone's got coke everywhere. Yeah, and this is a dead giveaway just for the dancers. It's the only club that I know that allows bikers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's like very old school and they're very rock and roll.
It's not everybody. It's like everything. Everything is not like all dancers are not like alcoholics and do drugs and do hand jobs in the alleyway, just the good ones. No, it's just not everybody. Because you know what? I know dancers at that club you're talking about.
Yeah.
And just nice, good girls. They don't like it not being busy.
Yeah.
They tried the busier clubs and they couldn't handle it. Mm-hmm. Like I went to one of the busier clubs just a few days ago, fucking like 20 girls standing around and stuff like that. And like someone comes in, I imagine girls like with their mouths like like all like or ready to pounce.
Yeah.
And if you're a newer girl or you don't have that much confidence or that's just not your style, you like just coming around and hey, how's it going? It's really hard when like fucking you have like sharks in there. You got like sharks.
And there's so much more drama the more girls you add that I can see why girls would get scared away easily.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Yasmin. Yasmin, she never works with me because I'm always at the busy clubs and it's a lot for her anxiety. And I'm like, because I can't go to the dead clubs. They don't like me because of my looks or this or that. But we can never meet up because our minds both work different ways, which some girls like it and some girls don't.
Some girls thrive in where there's only like a few people. Mm-hmm. They're just chilling. They put in the work and you got to be
good at conversation.
Yeah, you put in the work. You know what? Like, oh man, you can go so many ways. Like the girls that have made the most money, like no shade, they're not the prettiest girls. They're the ones with the gift of the gab.
Oh my goodness. It is so true. I mean, we're allowed to mention her name. She said I could. Jolene. She just has to blink at a guy. That's half looks.
Yeah, exactly. Jolene's not the prettiest girl,
No, hers is like, it's all looks and she has the talk. So she's 100% going to make that
By the
money.
way, I said that, Jolene, because you're fucking hot.
She knows.
She knows. She's like, oh, Walter, you're Jolene.
Yeah.
Because it's possible. There's no way for her to say that was the opposite, right?
Yeah. But I totally agree. And I call it like their witchcraft, right? It's a gift. They know who to go for, and when to go for them, and how long to sit with them. And I mean, like some of these girls are so mathematical, like they know everything. They can teach you so much, but I can't retain that information. I got to know how to do handstands, Like,
well, back in the day, I remember. I used to party a lot, so I was always like at the end of the night and stuff like that. There was this dancer, and he was Cameron Cox. Back in when she was like the roost, she was like the hand of she was a top, right?
She's very stunning and very talented.
Yeah. Rap back in the day. And I remember we just had like a radio station like thing. So the radio guys were there. There was like industry guys and whatever. And we're all like a little drunk and talking and stuff. And she was talking to the guys, and one of the guys is like, "Yeah, you just have to look at someone." And I was like, "Oh, I've seen it. I was like, and then like, so do it to me. And so it's like, what? And then she went to the like little fucking like just looking at you kind of thing. And it's like how she changed and how she looked at me. And I've known her for years. I was like, oh, I think I just caught feelings. Jesus Christ.
Marilyn Monroe has that theory. Like some people have it and some don't, where she could walk down in New York City on a busy street and no one would know her. And then she's like, watch this, I'm going to turn it on. And then she just fix her posture and walk down again. And everyone's like, holy fuck, that's Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. It's an actual thing that people learn. And you know what? I have a theory of like, you can be like 18 and like hot, but you'll just be hot. I don't think there's many young girls that are beautiful till they're a little bit older. Because beauty comes with like a sense of like inner worth
and who you are.
And who you are.
Yeah.
Because when you mix that shit, you know, not to get like all like, oh, you got to heal, blah, 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 trauma or whatever. But once you mix like that inner, like, you know who you are, plus with like you look hot, plus you know, like you know how to move, like, man, that is like, that's when it's like beautiful, you know? Those girls are having their apartments paid for and they don't have to do anything. They'll like return one text a month and that's enough.
Oh my God. And then there's me, I'm like, I need to learn a new skill. I have no regulars, no nothing. It's just, they're just so much better at it.
You remind me of like, I remember I was listening to some motivational talk and stuff for that. And they were talking about, you know what, there's people that are very gifted and stuff for that. I'm not that. I just work hard. So I make up for it with my hard work. And that reminds me of you because even though like I think you are gifted and you have all this stuff, I think in your brain, you like, okay, cool. I'm just going to win some awards and do this to the point where I will maybe convince myself that I'm not trash.
The imposter syndrome is very... Yes. Even the other day, we did an episode on copying. I'm like, no one's copying me. Am I any good? 3 major awards. I'm like, am I good? So, like, yeah, definitely imposter syndrome for sure.
Yeah. And that happens a lot. And I've talked to like tons of dancers throughout the years and also male dancers. And one thing is like, you guys have issues. That's why you're a dancer. You know, like
I'm single.
If you were, you know, besides the money, and obviously, again, take this with a grain of salt. This is my opinion, and also with a hint of like, you know, entertainment, and also not for everybody, because obviously, whatever. But yeah, if you filled your own cup, you wouldn't need this. You wouldn't, you know, and if you can make money elsewhere or whatever, you wouldn't. But for some of it, it's not just the money. Some of it is like when you're on stage and you get the claps, like, oh, that makes up for all the times my father never hugged me.
Every time I hear a clap, it's like my dad is telling me he's proud.
Yeah.
But like that turning it on and off, the look and everything, that's me as soon as I hit the thing on stage. But then I get off the stage and I'm like, you want to talk to me? The fuck? You know, like, but I can eye contact. I can rip my tits out and be like, hey, big boy. But I could not do that face to face.
Yeah, because you use like humor so much. You use it as like as your coping kind of like as your crutch and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why. Like I don't know, like because you're a beautiful girl, like. Physically, I don't think many people can say you don't like you have like nice tits, big ass, you know, like you know, like I think from today's standards of like we don't want skinny girls, we want like strong girls kind of thing. I think you fit today's like standards of like fucking bow kind of thing. Thanks. But but you definitely use humor as your thing.
Well, like my inspirations and the girls I worked around the most. And it totally shows now. Where Onyx, a fantastic pole dancer. Yeah. And then Wednesday Addams walks on her hands, handstands, gymnastics. Loved that. Darla.
Oh, I fucking love Darla.
And I feel like I'm a mixture of all of them. Just jam-packed into one with face tattoos. And yeah, I just, I don't know. She was so magnetic on stage. You always watched her whole show, and like I couldn't hear half the shit she was saying to people, and I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known Darla for a long time. I've partied with her. I've hung out with her, and she has such an interesting life. She lived such an interesting life.
She still is living an interesting life. Yeah.
On a very high. For some people, like, I can't take, some people need to like bring it down a notch every once in a while.
She's always up there. She's always a vibe. She's always like experiencing life to the fullest. She's always accepting every new adventure and everything. Like, oh man, she's actually the coolest chick I know.
And she's so creative. She's like creative as fuck. She loved making her own stuff and everything like that. And then I remember like my earliest memory of her, it was like, she was saying like her routine and stuff like that, right? She likes to come out and she likes to take off her panties first. It's like, I want to show them the puss just right off the bat, like, and she's like right in the beginning, not even her tits or anything out and stuff like that, just kind of like, that's just like her style.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, she's just like in your face sexuality, and she actually does that whole, she can go like really sexual and sensual. I remember she was talking about like she's had orgasms on stage before.
True.
And everything like that, right? Because she was just so into it and everything. And then she'll go on the funny thing, on the funny level and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a character for sure.
She's a legend. I can't wait. Like one day I'll definitely have her on the podcast. I know that. She'll be back. She's in Ottawa, Montreal, somewhere far away now.
Yeah, you can call it in. Do a Zoom.
Yeah. Hey! Fuck yeah. She's she's so cool. From the time that Darla was a dancer to now, do you see like a huge difference in dancers on stage and on the floor? Or do you like?
There's a big difference.
When you say big difference, do you mean quantity, quality?
Well, number one, quantity for sure. The thing is, like, even when they want to redo clubs and all that stuff, everyone's always like, let's do it like Vegas style. They always like look at Vegas, and I get it.
Yeah,
Vegas is a really cool place, and they go over the top and everything like that. But Vegas isn't like the cream. It's not everything, However, they've gone from, which sadly, they've gone from like the featured girls to the more kind of like Spirit Rhino, where it's just like, let's have 400 girls here, and just like we're just gonna kill them with like quantity and stuff.
Really?
Right?
I don't know. In my head, I've always thought, because it was busier back in the day, wouldn't there be more girls?
No, well, it would be more like stage. So before, it was like performances. It was about performances, and then obviously a lot of girls around and stuff like that. But now it's just about the numbers. So for me, I believe the quality has lowered, but the quantity has fucking like skyrocketed.
That's not good.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so.
When you say quality,
I would say quality in two senses. Number one, in shows, as in like, I remember we had like 10 girls regularly doing like active shows where you had to have like certain amount of really quality like outfits and all that kind of stuff and everything like that, to now the outside clubs, they do 4, and then the main club that does shows 5 is like
even when I started there was 9.
Yeah.
Like St. Pete's had 12 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a lot of girls. It is. But there was probably less on the floor too. Yeah.
Yeah. So now there's just more floor girls. The VIP girl thing really blew up, which, like, it's still cool. Like, you see girl, you
I
get
suck
dance.
at it. I hate it.
There's a lot of girls that have had that issue where they were like really good, like they have a great show. They fucking move to the music. They all this other stuff. But that's like the main thing they're focused. Maybe they're introverts and all that kind of stuff. And for me, I was just like, I told them a long time ago, I was like, let's bring in these girls that have like dope ass shows, but they barely do dances. Let's give them like $100 a dance or $100 a show or something like that, just right off the bat, because you've earned that just for your quality of your show. And obviously this will be like a select few that you can't say that they don't deserve it kind of thing,
Absolutely.
Because then like it wouldn't be worth it for them to work, because then they're not going to be able to make money because they're not really into getting VIP dances and stuff, right? So I would say the quality when it comes to shows wise, and also no shade. No, but I would say when I stepped into a club, let's take Vegas or whatever, right? When I stepped into like a good Vegas strip club, I want to be like, as a man, as a masculine man who loves women, I want to be like in awe, you know, like, oh, hot girl, you know, all that kind of stuff, right?
You don't think it's like that anymore?
I don't think it's like that anymore. You know, like, I definitely think there are dancers, strippers out there that are straight up ugly.
Disclaimer, all women are beautiful. These are his thoughts. Come on.
I have no disclaimer. Not all women, not all men are beautiful. I myself, I don't think I'm a beautiful person. I don't think I'm beautiful looks wise, but I have a whole bunch of other things that make me a beautiful person.
I'm just going to clip that whole part where you said some of them were ugly, and that's going to be the whole TikTok ad. Just like, watch villain Walter talk about all the dancers. No, it's all good. He loves us.
Let's record it. Ready?
Girls are ugly.
Not even girls. All girls are ugly. Unless you're sleeping with me, then you're hot. No. I would say before there was a standard to become a dancer, and is not all looks. I would say nowadays it will take a baby stripper about a year to stripify. And stripify means don't look like you're like, you know what? And this is all based on looks, because the industry is about looks. I'm sorry. If you're going to go into this industry and you're going to be busted, then don't expect to make a lot of money. Or
to be welcome in the club.
If you're outside, if I'm treating you like a regular person, then you're probably very normally beautiful, you know? But when you go into a strip club, I'm not talking about normally beautiful. You should be like hot even with your clothes on, kind of thing and stuff like that, in my eyes. Anyway, what my idea of a stripper is and stuff, right? And so it takes about a year for a baby stripper to stripify. And usually they do it out of shame, because so you're working at a club and then a brand new girl comes in there. Mm-hmm. She sees the difference between you and her.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Someone who actively works out and does all this other stuff, never fucking worked out in life, you know?
Yeah.
Or ever. Your hair is all done. And like, I get it. I'm always on the side of the girls. Like, there's a lot of work. Your product is your beauty, and that equals getting shit done. You know, don't come in with like fucked up nails and fucked up like eyebrows and whatever kind of stuff. You know, like, so these girls. I
literally just took off my nails.
Shame.
I do absolutely think, yes, there's so many things that will help you make money. Don't think it needs to be done to be a beautiful woman, but clean, brushed, white teeth are always going to look good.
We're not talking about being a beautiful woman. We're talking about being a beautiful. Yourself. We're talking about being a stripper.
Yeah.
Being a stripper and being a woman are very different things. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I would never judge a woman, at least out loud, how I would judge a stripper. Because once you're a stripper, you're signing in that this is your job. Your job is to look hot and beautiful and make money for the club and for yourself. So if you don't want to be judged by your looks, then don't be a stripper. If you don't want to, like, it's the same thing when people like enter like beauty contests and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, don't fucking leave crying and stuff because you didn't place or whatever. Then don't fucking do the beauty contest. Do a personality, do like the nicest person contest, you know, like, then fucking do that, you know, Jesus. Or like someone who has like really good vocabulary. Like, this is different. When you're a stripper, there's standards, and the standards have lowered. The standards have lowered because of money. Because the clubs want to make more money, and that's about it.
Okay.
And you know what? Like, as someone who works for the clubs and everything, fuck yeah, we want to make more money. Like, why not? And stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And so, and that's just how it is. And so, like, yeah. So when a girl comes in, they don't get it that they need to be doing their hair regularly. They need to be fucking, like if you work tomorrow and you're going to be out after your shift and drinking and doing God knows whatever and everything like that till like the early morning, you're gonna look gross the next day, and people are gonna notice that you're sluggish and you got bags on your eyes. And I don't care how much cold cucumbers you put on there, or how much makeup you put. I'm sorry, we can't dim the lights that low. Like it's gonna show. And if you do it over and over and over, the manager is gonna be like, "You're ugly. You can't come here no more." Mm-hmm. And they should, and you should go home and be like, fuck, I need to get my shit together, That's somewhere where I can actually chime in. I think if anyone does want the advice from Miss Carella Kraken, here it fucking is, because I'm so sick of you guys asking me in the club. First of all, you're all beautiful. Please don't yell at me in the comments. It is absolutely true that we do need to keep a standard high, and it is all about looks. At first glance, absolutely. Get out of the Lazenza underwear with the big booty cheek coverings, and to get out of your baby dolls that make you look pregnant, and do your hair, wear your lashes. Like, I get that we do want to be lazy some days, but if we all start doing it, we're all just going to look like basic girls, and that is true. Get in your fucking pleaser heels, get out of the Aldo shoes, get a proper bikini, do your makeup properly, brush your teeth. What else is there? You can buy custom bikinis for really low prices. Yeah. Like, you don't have to fucking spend a crazy amount. Mm-hmm. Probably the same as the Lazenza thing cost. Girls are always selling like their stuff when they leave the industry, or they just, too many guys just bought them presents or something like that. Like, I myself, a friend of mine, she gave me like a whole bag of Shein stuff that Shein is awesome. That guys have bought her, and she just didn't need them, right? She literally gave me like 30 things, and I'm just using it for my photo shoots. And I gave away a few for some girls, because some of them are like floor outfits, like basic floor outfits and stuff, right? No, lots of my stuff is from Shein. I actually really like Shein. So that for budget friendly girls, they also do have stripper shoes on there. Make sure they're real stripper shoes, because it looks dramatically different on the floor when you're not wearing the shoes. It looks like amateur hour, or that you don't work there, or you're trying to work there, or like you're not hired yet. Because you said Lazenza. It's not that Lazenza is bad. It's just that everybody gets it. Everybody, and they know as soon as they walk in that you just went them all and got something. I can see Lazenza. Yeah. And fucking cut off your tags, because it glows in the dark. Yes. That's, number 2. Cut your tags, tuck in your tampon. Yeah. You got this, ladies. So this is such an interesting conversation, because in my head, I don't see the standards on the floor changing because I'm not paying attention, but I do see a lot more women. Where I see the standards changing isn't necessarily how we look, but how we dance on stage. Back in the day was very big costumes, huge costumes, beautiful blonde women, skinny. Yeah. And now it's like, if you're not doing like a quadruple black backflip and blowing fire and hanging from the ceiling, you're not getting a job, Yeah. No, that's very true. I mean, like, going back to how things have changed. Before, it was literally blonde, no tattoos, dancing to like rock music. Most of the clubs didn't allow rap. Most of the clubs hated tattoos. And that's just how it was. And even like, and skinny, very skinny. Because back in the day, skinny was more in, and not that if you're skinny, then that's great and everything like that. But, not being skinny is fine nowadays. And especially, like, I would say is more of a Kim Kardashian kind of feel. Where she brought in, well, not even just the BBLs, but more curviness to it kind of thing, and allowed that to be like beautiful and stuff like that, which it always was beautiful. I grew up in New York. I'm a Latino. I always liked a nice shapely woman. It's my favorite. And so, like, but it took a while for the industry to catch up and adjust. And even Winnipeg, all of Winnipeg, I'm Manitoba, I was banned for the way that I look.
They never met me, never seen my show. I even told them, like, I'm kind of really good on stage. Like, I'm
kind
like
of a big deal.
No, like, yeah, and I'm being honest. I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of like really good at this. And they're like, no, you look like you were in a car accident. They said that to me.
Damn.
Yeah, and you guys can message me and apologize anytime, Rick and whatever. I don't care. It's what you said.
Damn, that's hardcore.
They said that tattoos look like bruises when you're on stage, so I would look like I was in a car accident. And then they yelled at me for like 20 minutes. I had to interrupt them and be like, I'm okay. I won't have to work there. You know, like,
I know.
Bye.
You can just say no.
Yeah, I can just say no.
Like, stop hitting me. Stop.
Yeah, I'm just like, and it sucked because all of my friends, when we all were Saskatchewan strippers, they all went to Winnipeg. And I was like, I'll follow.
Yeah.
And then I had to go over to Alberta all by myself. That's where Bear like really came in handy because I was all by myself. I didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bear was also an integral part in that because obviously Bear was rest in peace, very alternative and stuff and allowed that kind of stuff. And I know he was as well kind of like pushing for that. Because like when I first saw you came with a group of about 6 or 7 girls.
Yeah.
And I think you guys even had like a poster together.
Yeah.
At some point.
The Voodoo Vixens.
That like anytime I see like it's so funny because I'll see like girls like oh I did this shoot with this girl kind of thing. Like in my mind it's like, oh, you're gonna use this for like about a month and then you guys are not gonna be friends anymore.
Yeah, you guys are fine.
And so when I saw like the group of like a group of girls, like, oh, this is gonna last like a week.
Okay, so to clear this up for everyone who's like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you didn't see a previous episode, Bear was like a father figure to me. He got me dancing, and that sounds so predatory. Holy fuck. Go to the first episode. It's only 15 minutes long. Catch yourself up.
He's a good guy.
He's a great guy. The whole reason that there's a bunch of tattooed girls blowing fire now is because of him. And 2, he's the one who wanted this group. He wanted to hire a choreographer, this and that. Of course, it all fell through. Half the girls didn't want to show up to practice. When practice happened, only one of us, me, showed up. I'm the one who booked the shoots. I'm always
lazy strippers.
Yeah, it is. And then there's always the one that like is the ringleader, and that was always me. And then I just realized that everyone kind of sucks. That's why I do the podcast alone. That is not a shot at Anya. She traveled for a year. Don't come at her in the comments.
Anya's too busy jet setting all over the world.
So that whole Voodoo Vixens things didn't work for a multitude of reasons. The girls fighting, traveling too much, some of them not doing quota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general, like, you know, like, I don't want to like stereotype, but you know, women are catty, and in my idea, my personal life, I very adhere to masculine, feminine roles, and you know, like, there's actually a psychological or a backing when it comes to like women and how everyone is like they're pretty much just like what is it when you're like against each other or competition.
Yeah.
Even mothers when they have girls, there's a lot of like books on it of how like that's your mother and daughter are competing for father's love. in a non-sexual way.
Sounds like a porno.
In a non-sexual way, but I have seen a lot of good videos like that.
I think that's all Pornhub is nowadays.
Step. You just put step.
Yeah, your dad disapproves. Oh no, I'll suck his dick. Then he'll love me. What?
Oh my God, why are you gonna take it that far?
That's what Pornhub is. I can't go anywhere without seeing it.
I don't know. I don't watch pornography. Sorry. But yeah, like it's just sad to say, it's a very true thing. Like you're all competing, especially in this industry. All it takes is like this guy buys you out and doesn't buy her out. Boom, you're enemies now for some reason. Has nothing to do with you or whatever or blah blah blah. It's so weird. But anyway, I always see it when I see group pictures or when I see like people doing like podcast things or whatever together. It's like, you should just do it by yourself and have guests or take a picture here and there. Like, but like, don't invest money in doing stuff with someone most likely you're not going to be friends with in a month or two.
That's what I told everyone when it came to the podcast, and they want, like, I've had other people want to be the main host.
I remember. Yeah. I remember this is Yeah, I remember.
All those pictures are deleted off the Instagram, so you guys can search and look.
This has been around a while.
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm just like, I'm doing it myself.
Irks me because, and I always say it, like, not to like boost, you know, like make you feel any good or anything like that, because that's the last thing I want to do. But I think you're like not only do you have a really good brand, whether it be purposeful or not, you have like, you do things, right? You're a doer. Mm-hmm. That's why I can't deal with a lot of people, because people be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do that. And I'll give them like this is exactly what you got to do. Let me know and I'll do it. But I stopped initiating things on my own.
Yeah.
Let them come to me, because 95% of people don't do shit. They love talking about it.
Yeah.
They don't do shit.
Yep.
Only like the few amount actually do something, right?
Yes.
So, but yeah, girls be catty for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm comfortable talking about it. I lost a good friend recently, and it's all honestly it was just cattiness
because of I thought like sickness or something like that. I thought, you know, that she died or something.
What?
You say you lost a good friend? Like, did she die? Was it an car accident?
No, she's alive and well. I hope.
One of those car accidents when it was like I was drunk and I hit a car, but then like she died and I didn't, kind of thing. Like
no, I did lose a friend through cattiness. Just cattiness. It just went sour. Whether it was competitiveness or jealousy or straight miscommunication, which most of it was, or just too much time together. That's a big one with stripping. Like when you spend day in and day out, job in, job out, then go to the dancer house and you're spending more time with them. Yeah. And
I see that all the time, and it always causes trouble. It's like, oh, me and Candy just became like best friends because we had a good conversations yesterday. So we booked 2 months of gigs together, and she's also moving in tomorrow.
Bad idea.
And all this other stuff. And I was like, holy shit, this is gonna go down so quick.
Even healthy relationships will not thrive on that much time together. No, they won't. There's nothing out there. So
and the only reason that happens is because most of the oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna just say it. Most of the strippers are mentally unhealthy.
Well, we have attachment problems is a big thing. Yeah,
I'm mentally ill. Just saying that, you know, like, so because of this, you know, like I've been around a while, so like I get it. Like you guys have constant attention, but it's not like the right attention.
No.
You know, all these guys just want to fuck you, and you know, or they're nice guys, and they're like trying to backdoor you to get into your back door. You know, it's just
your pooper.
It's just like and then it's girls too, where you know, like you get fangirls, but they really like who they think Carella Kraken is, not who Carella Kraken is.
Yeah,
you know, and so. I get it. It's really hard. And so you latch on to people like, oh, you're also in the same boat as I am. You get me. Okay, cool. But then it's just like so hard, right? Because then you get rid of like the initial things, but then you go back to it. Oh yeah, but I also have like PTSD, BPD, you know, like extreme, like all these other things, distrust and all that kind of stuff, right? And it's like, yeah, when you're fucking spending time all the time, it's gonna come out.
Especially when it's not a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And that person's always backing you, and then suddenly, like, I have this problem a lot where, like, I'm like, yeah, best friend, go best friend. And then they say or do something, and I'm like, fuck, I want to be on your side because I love you. But, like, this is also a fucking job, you know? And I think a lot of us are at the age where we're affording therapy. We're getting diagnosed with things, but none of us are working on attachment issues.
Yeah.
And like you can scream that you have autism and BPD and bipolar to the roof of why you're reacting that way. But if you're not realizing that something's triggering you, which is most likely how attached you are to someone you shouldn't be that attached to, it's going to go sour. And that's where a lot of us were like, I love you. You're like me. You think the same. You do the same. We're both goth. We're both weird. And then you just want to spend every hour with, it's not going to fucking end well.
Yeah.
It's not.
As someone, I mean, a few years, I think 2 summers ago, because I have, my trauma has made me into someone who has to be like the rock for people. which is very weird because on the other hand, like they need, so I'm a big giver kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I think like 2 or 3 summers ago, it was like, you know, I had like a lot of friends and everything. Like, I became like the FP, like the favorite person for three different girls. Oh my
God, I hate that.
And I was like, shoot my brains out. It was hard. But also because of my own trauma, it was just like, I need to be like this rock for you, you know?
I've definitely felt that before.
Come to your friend daddy and all that kind of stuff, right?
And you do like, when I've been someone's FP, I think like, who else but me? Like it's I'm glad it is me, because your past FP was garbage and they treat you like shit. So like you feel that sense of like goodness of being like, okay, I can help and protect this person, but then you don't realize.
Yeah.
And like, we're not emotionally educated enough to know exactly how to deal with everyone's BPD or PTSD, or we don't have that knowledge. And everyone who has that kind of expects these people to know that. Mm-hmm. And it's unfair for all of us to just expect our friends to know exactly how to react, when to react, exactly what to say. Putting those expectations on anybody is it's gonna end sour.
Yeah. But I thrive on it. But it drained the fuck out of me.
Yeah, no shit.
And to the point that like I set up really strong boundaries now. And before I was just like, yeah, bring it on. Like, fuck it, I can handle this. I'm the fucking man. I can handle it. And I did. And I didn't like break and everything like that. But it kind of broke me a little bit. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Cool.
Yeah, you got to take your space for you.
If it's different if I was in a relationship with someone, then, you know, like, I can deal with the lashing out and then work on it later and all that kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. But when it's, like you said, when it's not a romantic thing and everything, you don't really, you don't have like much like stakes in the game. So it's like, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just not going to pick up your phone call. And then it was like, I was just about to kill myself and you didn't pick up. Like, but you're always about to kill yourself. So like, I'm sorry.
And it does become, after that point where they are only looking to you for help, they know that they need professional help, and they're only coming to you and putting all of that on you. Oh, rough take, everyone. Rip me apart in the comments. But I think it's emotional abuse. If you know damn well, and I have had a friend abuse the phone call, I'm killing myself, to the point where I had to call an ambulance on her 12 times in 1 year. She knows I take that seriously, very seriously. Yeah. You call me and say that, address, ambulance is on the way. I don't care. I'm hanging up the phone. I'm on my way there. I don't do this whole on the phone with you for 4 hours while you scream and cry to me. That's abusive, to make me sit there at all hours of the night when you know you're going to wake up the next day and not remember it.
Yeah.
It's super abusive to do to people, and to constantly be taking from them, knowing you're taking from them, using them as your outlet completely and not working on yourself. You're putting so much strain on a human. Can you imagine thinking, oh my God, my best friend's going to kill herself all the fucking time? All the time. And still to this day, oh, sorry, I'm getting emotional about it. Still think about it. Going to Bear's funeral bugged the shit out of me, because I'm like, one day I'm going to get this fucking call about her. And I know she's watching this episode. I'm going to get a call about her because it's going to be accidental or real, because she pulled that card so many times that she's either going to actually do something and accidentally, for attention or not, I don't know how fucking serious it is, but like, I think about that day in and day out, and that consumes all my thoughts when I become close with anyone.
Yeah.
As soon as I become close with anyone and they exhibit extreme mental health problems, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so worried about how I'm going to impact your life.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to do a good enough job, and sorry, this is getting so deep. Holy
I know,
fuck.
right? So yeah, strippers.
But it is a lot to.
Well, you know what? Because strippers are real people.
Yes, we are.
And they have real problems.
Yes.
Everybody has real problems.
And expectations are large everywhere. We expect our friends and family, and we expect, our loved ones to act a certain way. It's a lot of fucking pressure when we're just silly little strippers wearing heels, and we're just trying to help everyone and also make money. Yeah.
I like the girls, some of my friends, where they were like, blah, 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 blah. And their answer to everything is, I'm just a girl.
Yeah, just a girl.
Like, but yeah, like, when it comes to those issues, like obviously, it takes two to tango, and setting up good personal boundaries, helps you not be abused. Yeah, in that kind of way. And then you're not
the dick that abandons them either. I've been that asshole, and I feel like a fucking asshole because I've just abandoned them. I had to for my mental health.
And sometimes you do. I mean, I've had to ignore people saying they're gonna kill themselves, and not that I tell them go kill yourself kind of thing. I just, in my brain, I was like, if you kill yourself, you kill yourself. I can't do anything about it. You know, like after saving someone several times and doing this and staying up and missing work and all that kind of stuff, it's like now my life, my standard of living is lowering for you, you know? And if I'm not at this level, if I'm at the same level as you, who's going to take care of you? You know, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you go down with the boat, you can't help anybody.
Yeah.
You know? And so you want to be able to be there for people that you care about and everything like that. But we only have a certain amount of like fucking like, you know, juice inside. And,
People call it spoons, I think. If they have enough spoons to give.
Spoons.
Yeah. I've heard that term
I
before.
love spooning. I do.
Dom Daddy likes to spoon. Okay, on a lighter note.
Only big spoon. Dom Daddy.
Fuck, this conversation went everywhere.
I know, right?
I love that. Yeah.
It had tears and oh my goodness.
Almost
gracious.
shed tears. And I hope that you know, girl, we were talking about that I think about you every day and I love you very much. And I know it ended sour, but
no.
Fuck, man, I needed to do things with my life and I finally did them.
You know what? I think since we were talking about the differences between you girls and or whatever, I think that's one of the things that, so like if you're someone who's looking to become a stripper, like some of the behind the scenes is that if you're having like personal emotional issues now, they're not going to get better.
They're going to get dramatically
when you become
worse.
a stripper.
Yes.
And you think maybe like money's never the answer.
Oh God, no.
Especially this money. Because this money a lot of times comes with stipulations, comes with people who just because they gave you $50, $100, $1,000, think you owe them something. And maybe not even sex. Maybe just you gave them your number and now they're texting you all the time and now whatever kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Or every time that, you know, you're there like, hey, can we just get, you know, like some of the nicest guys aren't even trying to sleep with you and stuff like that, but they want your time.
Yes. Lots of it.
Hey, are you in town? Oh, can we grab a dinner? But that's like, you know, that's like a few hours of your day and also like emotional like time that you're spending because, you know,
you're not being you're being your
you're being your character,
yeah.
You know, and all this other stuff. And then you're like, oh, I'd like to hang out more, but I got to work and, you know, all this stuff. Right. And it's crazy. And some girls are really good at it, you know, in the sex industry. It's called giving the girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
You know, and that's money.
That ain't me though.
You know, but you know, like I've known girls, well, we both know girls who straight up, there's tons of guys think that they're dating.
Oh my God. And
they think they're in a real relationship.
And this isn't like, I need you people to realize that like I will go work in a club where I know a dancer hasn't been there for months and it's like some very unattractive, unshowered man is like, okay, I guess I'll take you for a dance, but I'll tell you a secret. You can't tell anyone. I'm like, this is still my favorite. I'm dating Sasha Love. I'm like, guys, if you know Sasha Love, she's literally a Playboy model. She is one of the most beautiful little things I've ever seen. And like this fat, ugly scab, because like, he's the worst kind of human. I know him personally. Goes like, I'm dating her. She lives in a different fucking country right now. Like the fuck, like, yeah, tell me about your guys' relationship. Oh yeah, she doesn't come up this much because blah, 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 stripper lab. I'm like, I know, I wish I could see her more. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. But like, come on, dude. You think you're dating?
It's crazy.
Oh my God.
It's these people are, you know what? I love Johns. I love, because I talk to them and a lot of them are like fucking successful, smart men. Mm-hmm. But it does comply with when it comes to love and feelings, people become very stupid.
Yes.
You know, because I know very strong, independent, successful dancers that that are crying because of a fuck boy.
Oh God, because of these bums. Oh my God.
You know,
me, guilty, sorry, guilty. Absolutely.
You know, like it's so, but on the other end as well, right? This guy fucking owns like a multi-million-dollar company with like 130 employees and all that kind of stuff, and he's coming in and is like, oh, I'm here to see, let's just use Sasha Love because we used her already.
Jolene.
I'm just here to see Jolene because we're dating, but she's always busy, so I can only see her when she comes to the club. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
She only when they, and they believe it, and they believe it with their hearts. I remember like there was like for one of the clubs, there was this kind of like this outing where like the staff and some dancers, we all went to like there's this, I think, Beercade or whatever, like this place over here that had video games and all that stuff, and this dancer brought one of her customers, and I was talking to him, and he paid for everything. He paid for like hundreds of dollars in food, and he bought everybody like fucking like coins to play games and everything. And then I was just talking to him. I was like, hey, man, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'll do anything for my girl, you know? Like, yeah, like we just, you know, we're taking it slow, but we're pretty serious and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay.
I wonder how many
like,
guys
do you
think that about
know
me?
She's married and has kids? Or I doubt it. But okay, sure.
Yeah, I know. And it's always the women who are married with kids or just married in general or live super far away or like supermodels that have the ones with the fake boyfriends. I think maybe people might be saying it about me or other people, but like they definitely don't think it because I can't. I'm diagnosed. I'm allowed to say it. I'm way too autistic. I can't the pretending and like I get too much in my head and like I just can't. It's far too much fucking work for me. I don't have that skill and talent. I can't mask that long. Yeah. And like eventually I snap on you because like you don't care about me. Dude. Yeah. You just like that I'm hot. That's it. Yeah.
No, but some of these girls, they fucking juggle. They can juggle and all that kind of. And I always like I like talking to girls and like, you know, because everyone has a style. Some of them is like I'm just going in and whatever's there I'm going. Others like they juggle. I love the juggling of regulars. Because I love regulars that get it. You know,
they get the hustle.
They get it. They understand it.
Yeah.
You know, like I pay her money for her time and she hangs out with me. She makes me feel good and she has nice tits and I see her tits every once in a while and that's it.
Those are the best customers.
You know, like even me being in the industry, like I like having a drink. Would I like having a drink with a hot girl and her tits out next to me? Of course I would. I'm still a fucking man. Yeah. You know? And so I like the regulars that get it. Yeah. The other ones that don't get it and they like they're in their like fucking like fantasy land.
You're gonna get way more of one than the other. The guys that get it are very few and far in between. And
then there's other ones that get it and then now they're like your best friends and they don't pay you anything. They don't purchase anything. But they'll buy you pizza or they're like, hey, if you ever want to go for dinner, I'm like, I'll take you. But you're not gonna get any money. And he's such a nice guy. And you know, like if I'm having a bad day, whatever, like he'll give me like a back rub. And I trust him because he never tries anything. And there's so many of them. I've seen so many. But like, yeah, they used to be a big spender and then they became like part of the family because somebody didn't put fucking good boundaries. You gotta I love that. Like you gotta be right in the middle, you know, like not too comfortable, but not comfortable enough.
That's me. Every one of my regulars becomes a friend who just comes in and visits. And I'm like, it's because that's how I bond with people. I'm autistic. I'm just like, you're weird, I'm weird too. Oh my God, let's be weird. And then they're like, oh yeah, you're not sexy, stripper, cool Carella. You're Emily. And like they see me as who I really am way too quick. Yeah. I suck at that.
And then it's kind of like, well, how are you gonna make money? Do that because also yes it's cool that you're a cool person and you're not creepy and all that kind of stuff.
It's not cool for the bank account,
but also I can't pay, you know, like I can like you can't pay your mortgage with like cool people
being friends with everyone and it's a tough life for a performer.
Who do you think juggles? Well, maybe you don't want to say names and stuff for that,
oh my God, I will.
Who do you think is really good at keeping that balance?
Oh my God. I'm totally going to ask if I can say their names because these women.
You can bleep it out.
I can just bleep it out after. Francesca. has it down to a science. She knows who, when, how, what, and she will text like her partner in crime, Megan, and be like, "You're texting too much," or "Do this," or make eye contact with him, compliment him a little more. Oh, he wants to talk about school. Knows the person down to a T. This is the guy we're sitting with. Sit for another half hour. We'll be bought out, and she knows, and she gets it. Every
I love that because
time.
it almost looks like an equation, like like she's doing math in her brain.
Exactly, and like
that like the math thing comes out. Right?
Sometimes I think that I'll walk up to a guy, I'm like, "This is it, buy out all night," and he like spits on me when he talks, and that's it. Then there's Stacey Snow. Mm-hmm. She has that it factor, that sweetheart, the eye contact. Jolene, she can just blink. I'm pretty sure she could fart on a guy and he'd be like, "Okay."
You're crushing on Jolene.
Well, she's good at her job. We try and bring her into every episode to build the anticipation to meeting Jolene.
Have you seen my the podcast that talks about Jolene?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that podcast, yeah.
Jolene's Peelerz podcast.
Yeah.
Stacey Snow. Then there's like Pure Determination is like Taylor Fierce.
Yeah.
Like that's just go get the first person.
Besides Francesca, who's kind of new, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
she's kind of new.
Yeah, like they're all how do you think how long, because they're all like pretty like known.
Yes.
Like they've been in the industry a couple of years and stuff like that. I noticed that you didn't say anyone like a new girl, like 1 or 2 years and
there's like hiccup. Second burp on the podcast, guys. Proud of me. Mia Pleasure, great at selling dances. That's also another pure determination thing. Most of these girls are just pure determination, but if I'm talking about that it factor, the it factor, Jolene, Ivy Venom, Francesca.
Ivy
is a witch.
Yeah, I remember.
She can just walk up to a guy and be like, "Hi," and she's bought out all night. Oh my God. I wish I had that skill. She is a fucking witch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's funny you brought up Mia, because she made a transformation. She made, when I first saw her, I really liked her because I thought she looked Puerto Rican.
Yeah, she does.
She looked Puerto Rican when she had her hair slicked back and she just had 2 little things there. And I'm being from New York, I'm always like looking for a Puerto Rican or something like that.
He's got his eyes out.
and then I found out she wasn't, and I was like, "Oh, you're just white? Ugh, gross." Anyway, but she had like a really like, she changed a lot and everything. And it's funny, like always like the prettiest girls are like the most, they're not the most confident, but they like they make it up in some way or another and stuff like that, Or as someone who does a lot of photography, the prettiest girls don't think they're the prettiest. Like
true, I think true beautiful women don't see their true beauty at all.
Yeah.
No. And Mia's also one of those girls. It's really hard to find someone who does stage really well and can sell a shit ton of dances. Like Sydney Bell and her and Julian Fox and like Lemon Drop too. Like just like pull trick on the floor, bought out. Like not me.
No,
not me.
Yeah, and then there's girls that are really good at that, but they don't do stage. They'll never do stage.
And that's their thing. They just want to be on the floor, and I totally admire that because in my head I'm like, everyone wants to be a stage girl, but no, I would. Wallet wise, I would love to be able to pull in $1,000 a night. That would be insane.
If for Miss Thing, who's always wanted to become a stripper, and she turns 18 next year, and she's gonna try to become a stripper. So let's say someone's first day and they look up to you and everything like that. What's the best way for someone new to try to get experience from someone who's experienced? Or are you just going to spit on them like, you're too new, get the fuck out of here?
I love giving the new girls advice.
Do you like fangirls?
Yeah, if you're appropriate. I don't like, people get too clingy. Like, I'm nice to new girls. I love new girls. I want everyone to be in this industry. I think it's fucking awesome fun and a great time. I'd love to see new girls doing crazy shit on stage. But it's when they kind of abuse my friendship and like start telling everyone that we are close when we're not close. This happens a lot. And then I get I go down in their sinking ship as their best friend because they don't have boundaries. And in my head, I'm just like, oh, this is a new girl I met. But in her head, it's like, oh, she took me under her wing and she did this. I'm not taking anyone under my wing. I will teach you stuff if you want, but like, no one is my project anymore. That's for sure.
Anymore.
It's happened a few times where like, I'm like, oh, you seem ready. And then I drive them to all their gigs and I give them their first outfits and I do all this shit for them. And then it blows up in my face that I'm somehow still terrible. So, because they're young or they don't like my reaction, they don't like my boundaries. That's usually it. Yeah. They really don't like the boundaries of, it's inappropriate for me to be friends with younger women. Sorry, I'm older.
Yeah,
it is. But the appropriate way to come up to me at the club and ask me for advice is to know what advice you're asking for. Because if you go like, how do you become the best stripper? That's way too vague.
Oh, yeah.
What's your goal? Do you want to learn pole tricks? Do you want to be a stage girl? Or do you want to be better at lap dances, selling lap dances? Are you asking the right person? Or are you just seeing me on stage and in your head that's the epitome of stripper?
Yeah.
Tell me what part.
This is stripper.
Yes.
Me want to be.
Yeah. Like, do you want costumes? Do you want stage work? This or that? Know what you're asking me for sure. I'm totally willing to teach people fire and stuff like that. I'm not... your slave.
Because they ask about like, oh, I want to do a show like you or yours. It's like, well, you got to hit the gym because your arms look like spaghetti.
Yeah, that is it. When the girls are like, oh, how do you do these insane tricks? I'm like, it's doing it over and over again and training really fucking hard all the time. Like, it's 8 years in, I can do a human flag. It's not my hand positioning that makes it. It's not like I'm going to tell you one thing, it's going to click in your head and you're all, oh, and then do a human flag. It's years of practice and hard work. And if you think it's easy and that all it is some tiny advice from me to get to there, you're wrong. So let's be realistic. Yeah. You know?
I think it's the old man in me wants to say, these kids these days, they just don't have patience. You know, they're the TikTok, they're the scrolling like every 3 seconds. And so but the fact is, yeah, it's hard work.
Yeah, hard work.
It's like whether it be anything, how to learn how to talk, hard work. Talk to like 1,000 people. You know, come back to me. Like, I'll tell you a few tips. Talk to 1,000 people, then come back. Till then, don't talk to me. Yeah. You know, because like you have to go through it. Do like 1,000 like fucking like handstands or whatever, and then come back, and then we'll have something for but.
And there's nothing I love more than like actually giving people pointers. Yeah. In any way, shape, or form, whether it's them walking their shoes, handstands, or fire. If I teach you anything basic, and you come at me being like, "Here's what I learned," and something else. Oh my God. Yes, let's practice more or let's get together more. Doesn't mean I'm your best friend. Oh my God, guys, come on. We're looking for real, honest relationships here. But yeah, I'm far more willing to be training you for free, practicing with you after work, giving you advice, helping you with contests, this and that, if I actually see you working. But if you're just asking, and there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of girls that just talk. Yeah. And they talk and they talk
just
and they
talk. Waste your time.
Yeah, and like, I don't care what you want to do it. Once I see you do it, I'm going to be there for you, cheering you on. Hell fucking yeah, brother. Like, absolutely. But yeah.
There's one question, like, now that I have the famous Carella Kraken in front of me. Because, you've been around, you've been traveling a lot of places, and obviously, like, you see the behind the scenes kind of thing. I love behind the scenes stuff. What's the grossest dancer story that you've seen in the dancer changing room?
Oh my God.
Because I have one. And I want to share it.
Like, I'm ready. Holy fuck. There's so many. One girl got her tampon stuck in her, and the other girl had to use her like super long nails to get it out. I'm sorry. I love my friends, but like, holy fuck, I would never. And like, it's a different story now that everyone's doing porn together. Yeah. I can see this being far more acceptable, but with like other people in the room, when there's blood in that thing, that's a biohazard. I was a piercer. I'm like, blood doesn't go in the change room. So the fact that it happened in the change room.
Blood doesn't go in the change room. It goes in your mouth.
Oh my God. But definitely fishing the tampon out with the nails. And I get it. Things have gotten stuck up there before, but Jesus. Holy fuck, I did it myself.
I can't imagine like the scraping, like the You're going through your pap smear or something like
And you
that.
guys got to do what you got to do, but next time let's do it in the bathroom.
I know.
Yeah.
We're all girls anyway, right?
Yeah.
No, but we all don't want to see that.
Yeah. No.
That was pretty. They get it out, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and like I'm just like, oh my god, this is so gross too. Like, there's tampons smell a certain way if you've had them in for too long, and like it was a bomb. I remember just being like, oh my god, get me out of this fucking room fast, because like I don't want to know.
You can die from having a tampon in too long.
Yeah, and like I know it's gonna smell bad, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not. I didn't watch the actual part of it coming out. As soon as it started happening, I was like, I'm out.
If I was there, I'd be like filming it. Like,
Yeah.
no,
Zooming in.
This is good for the documentary.
Yeah. What about you? What's your story?
I was in this dancer changing room just talking to my friends. And obviously, like, I've been in the industry, and so many of the girls I know, they're like somewhat family or distant family kind of thing. Never sexual in any kind of way. And I think that's how you know people that belong there and don't belong there. If someone comes into the dance and change room, if like a new porter comes in and drops off whatever, and then he just like looking around and whatever, like, yeah, brother, get the fuck out of here.
Out. Yeah. You.
But anyway, cause maybe you don't know, but most girls are naked or somewhat naked or getting naked or getting dressed or whatever. So in the dancer changing room is pretty like private, I would say, even though for some girls, they don't care, you know, like it's in general, it's private area. So I was hanging out, talking to one of my friends in there, and then this girl, ran in. She's like, she's like, what happened? What's going on? It's like, I'm on stage in like 2 minutes. And so she just got dropped off. And she just came in from outside. She's on stage for 2 minutes. And so she's going through her bag, whatever and stuff, right? So then like she picks up her leg and she puts it on the table.
Oh God.
And then she gets a wipey.
Oh no.
And she starts wiping her ass because her guy friend or whatever just had sex with her and came in her ass.
Oh.
And
cute.
it's coming out. And so like she's like wiping the jizz that's coming out of her ass. And just like so nonchalant.
I mean, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
I've seen that and both holes.
Both holes.
Or like cleaning out their hair, or their spray tan got fucked up because they got and then like you could see the jizz on their back. Yeah, wow, that's wild to do right in front of you. Wow, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
It was just so funny. It was so nonchalant, and we were just like laughing, and then she like cleans up, and then you know like put on a costume and everything, and then boom. Looks nice and perfect.
I thought you were like, and then she farted a big cum bubble.
You know what? Now think about that. Like, I'm sure there has been like cum on the stage here and there throughout the time.
Oh, definitely. Like, Darla says the story all the time. I'm allowed to. Like, Darla said on one time that it didn't, like, her man at the time was very large and in charge. So it was way up there, and it didn't come out until, like, she was during playtime. It was like, look. And there was also a time that she was in a dance, and it, like, came out all at once, and the guy... Like, she turned around all like, and the guy was like, oh, yeah, you're getting so wet for me. And she's like, I'll go with it. And just gets right back into the dance.
Oh
wiped her fucking man's jizz all over this guy's jeans.
The guy's like,
oh, he loved it. I love the way your pussy smells, blah, blah, blah. And that's a man's jizz.
oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
And it's just so funny because no one knows the wiser, you know, usually.
Everyone thinks we're having like sexy pillow fights
Yeah.
and like making out in the back, but really it's just like we're sitting there like hunchbacked. Like there's a tweet that's like strippers are just in the change room sitting hunchback, texting their baby daddies and getting mad at them on the floor.
Yeah.
Just sitting there on the floor.
Thing is, like, I tell people, like, because I get all the time, like, oh my God, you're so lucky, you know.
Oh yeah.
You're so lucky, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And I always tell people, imagine having like 30 girlfriends, but you only get the bad end of it. You don't get the sex. You don't get the hug. You get the texts, the messages. Walter, you printed the wrong thing, or blah, blah, you know, all of the stuff. Or like, oh, the complaints about the club or you or whatever is like, it feels, that's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
You know, like I haven't gotten a boner in a strip club for like 15 and a half years. Like, I'm sorry. You know,
15
like,
and a half. So at one half you're in, you're just like, oh, I'm done.
oh, dude, 100%.
We are gross though. We are gross.
It took it's not even that. It's like, you just get numb to it.
I guess so.
If I had a choice, I would prefer not to see so much pussy and tits. I think but it is affected me, but it's affected me in a positive way. Cause now, not to get into like weird things, but I consider myself demisexual, which just means I need like an emotional connection with someone to actually like want to like have sex with them and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I'm not one for like, one night stands and all that kind of stuff and everything like that. So it's affecting me in that way where like I literally can't get hard unless like I actually like you.
And when our managers and everyone have trouble dating because women are uncomfortable with them working in the industry, I'm like, they're surrounded by beautiful women and they're completely desensitized to it. Like, what better man a man who knows how to manage a woman in the business place? I see them being a good girl, a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
Don't let that go to your head. I'm not going to name off all the managers. Don't let that go to your head.
But this steers to a different route because I've heard it from the girls and the guys side. And also I can talk about my end and you can talk about, I'm not sure if you mentioned it already, but I've had a really hard time dating being in this industry.
Oh, yeah. I think this gets brought up every single podcast because it's outrageous. The stigmas, the assumptions, the money, the competition, all of it.
And for me, like I'll tell people what I do, and it's not like I do like strippers. That's my, like I do like my actual title is online media marketing and management for companies and brands and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But I also do photography and also whatever. And
He's a great photographer. Does very artistic stuff. It's not just stripper boobs.
It's not just stripper assholes.
Have you ever dated a stripper?
I have.
Anyone I know?
Probably. Well, maybe not. But I have dated a stripper before, and I would not recommend it because of the hours.
Okay.
If I date someone, I want to feel like I'm dating someone.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, babe, can you come over? Can you sleep over? All that kind of stuff, right? Or I want to see a movie. Not, can you sleep over in 3 weeks when you're in town? And
that's why like iron workers and mill workers and everyone works so well for us because like you go away for 2 weeks, we make our own schedule. We work for those 2 weeks and then we all have a week off together.
Yeah.
And that them and drug dealers is like our options.
Yeah.
Really. Especially with the hours and communication and everything. There's a million reasons why dating a stripper is hard, but that is a big one for sure.
Yeah. I would say, well, number one, if you're jealous, you can't.
Yeah.
Because, everybody wants to date a stripper and they're like totally cool with it until they actually date them. Then they're like, when are you going to stop this kind of thing and stuff, right?
Yeah. And you're not doing us a favor by dating us. Never. It gets brought up so many times. Like, I'm dating.
First of all, anyone that is lucky enough to date me, I'm doing them a big favor, okay? Because I'm fucking amazing.
Charity work.
Yeah, I'm amazing. No, not charity work. I mean, you know what? It used to be charity work for sure. I'm fucking amazing. And I always say, because no one says it for me, I got to say it for myself. If you're lucky enough to be my partner or my friend, then you're very lucky because I care. And it's such a weird thing, but in today's age, that is actually like a big trait.
Yes.
It's like in companies where like, oh, if you just do your job, as said, you will go up really quick because there's so many people that are just shit. And when dating, is going to another route. With dating, so many girls will say like, you're fucking amazing, right? Where for me, I'm just acting at 0. I didn't even start the amazing part.
Yeah.
But it's just that they're so used to dating negative 100.
Below the bare minimum.
For me, is like, yeah, that first night when I was drunk, you didn't even like rape me. What can I say? I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy.
Yeah.
Like shit like that, right? Because the bar is so low.
It is.
And so like, don't fucking pat me on the back for, like these.
And I do think that women shouldn't, as like, not saying that you aren't a great guy. We do have to stop praising the bare minimum and let guys know, we come into these relationships and we go, our ex was so terrible to us. And we let them know that like, here's all the horrible things we put up with. So even if you do a little better than that, it's a million times better in our head. Why are we telling them that? Why are we giving them the poison? Right to give back directly to us. Like we should not be giving the bare minimum absolute praise. We should chase it when we see the bare minimum. We should go after it. We should date that person because it most likely will get better. But you shouldn't be getting taken advantage of. You shouldn't be being abused. You shouldn't have names called. These are totally normal things, and they don't make someone amazing for not doing it. So,
on that end as well, I would say if you are below minimum, then
don't expect magic.
Then you probably got exactly what you deserve. Not that you deserve to get raped or anything like that. I'm just saying,
oh my God, Jesus.
If you got, if you got ignored and all that kind of stuff, like, tell me where you're at, how you act and stuff like that, right? Because this comes from years, and like I said, I'm old as fuck. I did a lot of introspective in my 20s. I was a piece of shit. I didn't know anything. I got taught by beautiful women, has taught me, and they've taught me also through their sacrifice. Because a lot of times, like, you'll like bring up a man and like, I want him good enough for me, and then like, oh, thanks, babe, and then he marries the next girl. Because you brought him to that level, and then the next girl is gonna fucking enjoy your work.
The fruits of your labor.
Yeah, exactly. and the same thing happens and stuff, right? You know, like I think on both ends. Because like I said, like I believe in like traditional masculine and feminine roles and everything, and it's really hard because a lot of women are born with their worth, and men have to earn their worth, right? Because like, you know, women, like, you know, the truth is like your beauty is like the number one first thing. Where for guys is your earning capacity, your resources, right? And so like, you know, like everyone has like hards. It's not easy for anybody. You know, I can easily say like, oh, women are shit, and you know, like there's a lot of good men out there, and you can say, oh, men are shit, there's a lot of good women out there, you know, but it's kind of in a mixture. It's kind of like we're all a little shit, and we all can be a good man or woman. You know, but
absolutely.
But like usually the people who like who complain the least kind of thing are doing the most work inside kind of thing and stuff, right? Because like I've had plenty of girls cheat on me or did something or whatever kind of stuff, and I just kind of like, what did I learn from that kind of stuff, right? And so, and it's going back to strippers. When I dated a beautiful, lovely girl. She was newish in the industry, traveling and everything like that. Super cool, super awesome. Very much a fiery person, so fiery gypsy type. I tend to like more kind of like free birds because I'm so rigid in like control and all that kind of stuff.
What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
Okay.
I'm so rigid and disciplined kind of thing, and I need to like have control and be like that rock. So I attract kind of like fiery birds. So they like, it's kind of like, I always think of it like flying a kite. Like they need someone to hold their string, or else they'll fly away. And for me, like I need something that likes to fly kind of thing. Right?
Okay, interesting.
But I would say it was hard. It was hard, not because I was jealous or anything like that. I was not anything, but for me, I guess it's just scheduling. Not knowing, you know, if I had literally like, I want to see this movie with you before it leaves the theater. You know, and it's like, oh, I can do it this week, I can do it that week. And then it's kind of hard. So like, you know, for like a working girl, if you don't know, a lot of girls work fucking like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Before, there was a rule where you can only work 3 weeks, and then you mandatory 1 week off. But now, because there aren't that many traveling girls, if you're willing to work on a road, you can work your whole year and not take any break if you want. And
lots of girls do that.
They'll
just
let
stay
you
on the road. You know,
and that's your life, then that's your life. But it sucks because like, you know, like she was out for like 3 weeks, and then her week back, she had to see her family. She had to get financial stuff. She had to get physical stuff. You put all that in there. Plus, like, you got to make time for me. And then now it's like, I have to ask you for time. And now it's like, well, now I feel like an inconvenience. And I want you to want to hang out with me. I don't want to be like, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so it just became difficult and stuff like that. But
that makes sense.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I think there's a lot of girls that, not that I've known them in like a relationship setting. I think there's a few girls that I've come across that I would for sure date or try, if it wasn't for the scheduling. Mm-hmm. You know, because bitches be cray, whether they be strippers or not.
Yes.
So like being a stripper is just literally, if that is like if that is your personality, then there's a problem. You know, like
if you're just your character, then there's you got to have separation. You have to have your own like hobbies and loves and dreams and everything outside the club. You know, there's such a, my God, your job can really take you far, but if you just are your job, you're going nowhere. Has
you being a stripper ended many of your relationships? Or did you just end it with your craziness?
I'm not overly crazy. I should be. I'm not though, which is.
You know who says that? Crazy girls.
I know though.
Crazy girls say, I'm not crazy.
I'm not crazy. I'm very public. You know, that always, like, that's an issue, how public I am on TikTok and stuff. But no, there was Tony, and he was talked about quite a bit on the previous podcast when I ran it with Danger Cats and Kennedy Rose. We talked about Tony a lot. And that was the first one where he outright said, like, it's your job. It's your job. I can't deal with it. And he was a normal dude, and I get that. And it's not for everyone. I wish he just would have known it earlier.
What didn't he like about the job?
He didn't like that having to worry about me at odd hours. How people perceive me on stage. It was right after he watched a girl on stage.
What would be the worry?
That I'm not safe. But and you know what's odd about that?
Club, and then usually you get walked to.
I know, and he was a security guard too. I was just like,
I don't.
It's because I'll be honest, and it's. I'm just saying. From
can you stop lying to me and be honest? Jesus fucking Christ!
Because this is what he told me, but from my vision and from what I'm assuming, he sees stripper as a different way, and he does not respect them. Because we went to go watch them dance. He was obviously kind of uncomfortable. He did not like the way his friends talked about strippers. He didn't like that I was laughing with them. I could tell he was uncomfortable, and then 2 days after, dumped me. So he went in the club, realized, oh my God, people see my girlfriend naked. I can't handle this. When I look at her, I don't respect her on stage, so I probably don't. Like, it's obvious.
I thought it was universal that everybody knows that strippers are whores.
Yeah, giant sluts, you know? Sure. Yeah. And and then dumped me. And I was just like, oh, it's because I'm not safe at work, but you're a security guard. Like, you'd rather be paid minimum wage to watch other girls. And
yeah.
It was a lot. And I think he should just led with this. He wanted kids. I don't want kids ever. Oh. Yeah.
That seems like the only reason.
He should have just been like, oh, I don't want kids, instead of bringing everything into it and the lies and whatnot. Because he did get married, like, it was very quick. I have no idea what the timeline is. Let's say a year, and like a baby on the way, and I'm pretty sure he has like 2 or 3 kids now. Like, he wanted kids, and he wanted them immediately, and he should have just said that.
And did you say at some point you didn't want kids?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been pretty open with that.
But he just thought he can change your mind?
No, I think he was just having fun, because it was a short relationship.
Oh, okay.
And I think he accidentally said girlfriend out loud, because I was even like, girlfriend, and he was like, I guess so.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, I guess we're dating. And the whole time in my head, I'm like, oh, he's boring, and like, he's not my type, and we don't really look like we should be together, but like, oh, that's how it should be. It's comfortable, it's boring, right? That means it's safe.
Yeah. I love talking about the spark and how much of a piece of crock that is, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. And like, it was just felt safe and secure. And I kept questioning, like, he's not my type, he's not my type. And then when he dumped me, I was like, you shithead. You know how much argument it took in my head to like you? Yeah. And then you said girlfriend, boyfriend. And I said in my head, like, oh my God, I'm fighting this. I should just accept it. I was growing. I was learning things, and you left me. But that's the only time a person has left me. So
Every other time you left them.
Yeah, I date pieces of shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had great exes,
because it feels safe.
Yeah.
Because then.
Oh no! Why have I dumped them?
No, like you date pieces of shit because it feels safe.
Yeah.
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 I would do that. I wouldn't say I date pieces of shit because I try not to. I would say
Me too. I try.
I did have like I'll mention real quick. Like my wife died when I was young. I got married when I was 20, and she ended up dying and stuff, right? And she was like the love of my life kind of thing.
The one that was a bitch?
No, my first wife.
You've been married twice?
Yeah.
Lead with that info, because everyone's like, dude, did you just talk like that about your dead wife?
Anyway, I think for me, a lot of times I'll date women that I know there's no real future in it. Just more out of like this is something that I introspective like kind of thought.
You don't do it anymore, though, right?
Then it's safer because then like I won't get hurt.
Yeah.
Because the last person like died on me kind of thing and stuff like that. You know. But yeah, no, I don't do it anymore. I rarely date anymore kind of thing, just because I have like higher standards kind of thing. And also I mentioned it quite a few times, I'm very traditional, and so I like someone more traditionally feminine and kind of like wanting those kind of roles like that, like
kids, housewife.
that like has an idea of some kind of God in them kind of thing. And
okay.
All that stuff.
But like everyone should have a checklist, absolutely, and you should know what you're looking for, because I just go into the abyss being like, I don't know, I'll know it when I see it, and it has ended horribly every single time.
Yeah.
It's now I have a list of everything I want, and it's lonely.
Your deal breakers. Yeah. No, I've done like Anthony Robbins things and all that kind of stuff, and like not only for your own personal goals in life, but when it comes to relationships as well, right? And having like a set of like deal breakers for both sides, like if they need to have this and they need not to have like this kind of thing, right? So, if like someone's kind of like, I don't like getting beat, like, well, you're not for me then.
In a sexy way. God, everybody.
With consent.
With consent.
With consent, you can do anything, actually.
Well, nope. No, because that guy went to prison because that guy wanted him to kill him. And he's like, but it was consensual. He wanted it. And there was even videos of him being like, I want you to kill me. I want you to eat me. I want to watch.
Someone asked me to cut a chunk of her out.
I had a guy ask that. He was an armpit guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, he wanted to cut me in.
Oh, no. She wanted me to cut a piece of her out.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's get this on video.
Okay. I see, everyone thinks, they look at me and they're like, she's a freak like that. No, it's not me. No, it's not me. It's guys like that. They're all quiet in the club. Our best friends with the strippers, the nice guy. He's going to cut you.
No, it's not that I'm going to cut you. If you allow me, if you give me the opportunity. Yes. I'm definitely like, because, sometimes you'll be drunk or whatever and like, oh, like I like spanking and stuff like that or whatever. You're talking to like girls and it's kind of like, well, just give me a spank kind of thing. Like, I'm just letting you know right now, if you are really asking me to spank you, I'm not like playful spanker kind of thing. You're not like my partner, and I'm not trying to like whatever. Like, I will fuck your shit up.
Good to know.
So don't ask me.
Well, that seems like a wonderful note to end on.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. We have mental issues. Please date us.
We do.
This concludes another episode of the Peelerz podcast. Thank you for listening with me, Carella Kraken, and
Walter.
I'll have all of his social medias linked below. And thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe.
Okay.
Bye.